Hey, it's Kristi and Amanda.
Two girls from Saskatchewan, Canada, living the Reiki life while working the 9 to 5.
Hey everyone, welcome in. This is kind of a bonus episode today. Kristi and I really just needed to take some time off to be with our families and enjoy Christmas and this holiday season. We don't really get to do that. We both work full-time jobs, and then when we are not, we are working our Reiki and other side hustles. So we just really wanted to give ourselves this time during this season, and we hope that you took the time as well and got some rest. I know that the winter solstice was extremely weird for both of us. We both had very odd, kind of disturbing dreams during that time. And it is such a significance of the death and rebirth that is coming in. And that really hit our dreams almost literally. So hopefully you are taking care of yourselves and had a great Christmas. And now we're going into a great new year. I wanted to, on this episode, do something a little bit different. I wanted to do a guided self-Reiki treatment. And that is just to set the tone for the new year. I'm getting over a cold, and I know a lot of other people that are sick right now as well. So I thought this would be a good time just to kind of relax, make sure we're not bringing anything into the new year that doesn't serve us. And so if you are at home or anywhere that you can follow along with this, or maybe pause it to do it when you do have time, just to kind of get grounded and be by yourself, that would be awesome. All right, so why don't we now just put our feet on the ground if you can. If you're sitting in a comfortable lotus position, just sitting with your back nice and straight, just taking a few moments here to get really comfortable. And the first thing we are going to do, like always, is that we are going to ground ourselves into the earth, ground ourselves into Mother Gaia. And so just taking a couple of deep breaths here, I want you to breathe in from your root, maybe from the base of your spine or the bottoms of your feet. And I want you to take a nice big deep breath in, breathing in from that space, and just holding it at the top for 4 counts. And when you're ready, releasing out through the mouth audibly, just making that nice sigh to release any tensions that are hanging onto our body. Christmas can be a stressful time for some of us. So just releasing and letting go. And let's take another breath like that, breathing in from either our tailbone or our feet, filling up the lungs and holding at the top. And then making a sigh out of the mouth audibly, just to release all that tension. And now I would like you to bring your focus to your root, calling in that energy from Mother Gaia, thinking of roots coming out of our feet or our tailbone, and they're growing deeper and stronger into the earth, through the rocks and the dirt. Feeling our roots growing right into the core of the earth. We have a Hera line that runs through our body, through our 7 major chakras, and we just want to root that Hera line right into the center of the earth. Maybe you see Mother Gaia's green heart center, a green glowing emerald, and we're just going to connect those roots into her heart. Feeling her love for you and that unconditional support radiating all the way up through the root chakra. And feeling that energy open that chakra so we can receive today. Maybe you see a spinning disc starting to spin, usually associated with the color red. And then feeling that energy move itself all the way up to the sacral. Picturing a nice bright orange disc starting to spin in alignment with our root. Feeling that open and being able to receive today. And as it is spinning, it is clearing out any other energies that are no longer serving us as well. And that energy is now moving up to our solar plexus, our stomach, where we hold our confidence. Feeling that nice yellow disc also starting to spin in alignment with our other chakras. Spinning and clearing and balancing, becoming open. And then all the way up to our heart, visioning a nice green disc starting to spin. Letting our heart be open to receiving today. And just breathing that energy all the way up into the heart space. And releasing again. And then making your way up to the throat. Seeing a blue disc starting to spin in alignment with the other chakras. Feeling the throat open, becoming clear. Maybe you need to clear your throat right now as it is opening. And then bringing that attention all the way up to our third eye. Seeing a beautiful purple disc as well spinning, opening. Allowing our intuition to flow through us naturally. And then all the way up and out of our crown, seeing a nice pink disc also starting to spin or maybe resonate with the color white or gold. And just feeling that beautiful source light above you, opening up and flooding your fields all the way back down. Feeling all of the chakras open and in alignment and balance as they are all spinning together, ready to receive Reiki today. And from here, I just want you to imagine a beautiful bubble of light around your auric field. Just calling in protection now from Archangel Michael. Maybe you see a bubble of beautiful light surrounding your field or a pyramid of white light. Whatever resonates with you, but just call in that protection on however feels good to you. We are also going to take this moment to call in all of our angels and guides at the highest vibration. And if that doesn't resonate with you, you can just call in your higher self, all of the Reiki masters that have come before us to come in and join our sacred circle today. Feeling them enter now into your space, feeling that protection and alignment. And I want you to bring attention to your hands and think about your hands turning on to receiving Reiki today. Ready to give yourself a Reiki treatment. And now, after taking a couple deep breaths here, when things feel centered and ready, I want you to bring your hands firstly just a cup over your eyes. Obviously, we would not do this while we're driving, but hopefully you are in a place, maybe even hidden in the corner of your office. And just holding both of your hands over your eyes. Feeling your eyes closing and feeling the tension kind of melting away. We strain our eyes a lot by looking at our phones, staring at the TV, even the fluorescent lights above us. So just shutting down that sensory. And you can either place your hands directly over top of your eyes so they're touching your face, or you can place your hands just an inch or two above your face so they're just hovering over top of your eyes, which is probably what you would do if you were treating a client. You maybe wouldn't want to touch their face unless we were very familiar with them. And just leaving your hands here until you feel a nice shift. Maybe your hands slowly start to raise above you, or maybe the temperature changes. They can feel hot or cold, or a tingling sensation. But just leaving them here as long as you need. And if ever I am moving too fast for you, you can always pause this and hit play again when you're ready to move on to the next hand movement here. My hands are starting to naturally separate and slowly are going towards the sides of my head, very slowly. I am now bringing my hands with my palms on each side of my temples, and my fingertips are going on the top of my head. And my hands are physically touching my head, kind of cupping around the crown. Just really focusing on your breath right now. Again, if you would like to hover your hands just above your head instead of touching directly on it, some people find they can just feel the energy flowing a little bit better that way. And again, it's whatever resonates, whatever feels good for you. If your arms start to feel tired in this position, you can always bring your arms down to your sides and you can beam the energy to that spot. Just bring your focus to where you want the energy to send from out your hands. So I kind of bring my elbows in and I point my palms towards my head so the energy kind of beams there if this is getting uncomfortable for you. And then again, when you are ready and your hands feel like they're shifting, mine now want to go down to the side of my face and down to my jaw. We carry a lot of tension in our jaw. Some people grind their teeth at night, including myself. So we naturally just want to feel the release by placing our hands here. You might feel your jaw relax. You can also take your tongue and stick it to the roof of your mouth, and that'll also help the jaw relax. Remember, the energy is going to flow where the attention goes. So just bringing our attention to the spot we would like to Reiki. Again, if you're just keeping your arms down by your side and you're beaming the energy, just making sure you keep your focus on where you want that energy to be sent to. I personally like to keep my eyes closed, just to feel that nice sense of relaxation. But you can do this anywhere. This doesn't have to be a quiet, sacred meditation. You can do this while you are in the bathroom at work, or while you're sitting at the red light in your car, anywhere, anytime. Just to give yourself a little bit of Reiki is so much better than not. And now I'm going to move my right hand to the back of my neck because I carry a lot of tension back there. And I'm going to take my left hand and place it on my forehead over my third eye. The back of the neck here is called the motherboard, and it is the direct opposite point of your third eye. So a lot of people who get tension and headaches there could just be having some stuck energy from your third eye being built up back there, and it just needs to be released. And again, if you need extra time on any of these spots, you can just pause this and pick it up again when you're ready to move to the next position. And then moving both of my hands to the back of my neck now. They're kind of placed one on top of the other. You might want to take some movement with your head, maybe bringing up and down, side to side. Again, whatever feels good to you. I also feel inclined to take my left hand and move it to the front of my throat while I still have one on the back, so I'm going to do that. And this would be called a sandwich hold. So when we have one on the front and one on the back, we are sandwiching the chakra in this case. And usually when I'm over the throat, I like my hand to hover a couple inches above this area instead of placing it right on. But if you feel inclined to have your hands directly on the throat, of course that is your call. And now I'm just moving my right hand from the back of my neck into the front, placing it over top of my left hand. Again, we're hoping that you look for signs of a release. You could even have a big sigh. It's usually a good indicator that something has been released. I am personally sweeping out this area now with my other hand. The throat is a pretty tricky one for a lot of us. So if you feel called to take some movements with your hands, allow yourself to do that if that feels good to you. I like to move my hands a lot when I'm Reikiing, sweeping out the field. I have one hand that just stands still and is holding the space while I sweep with my other hand. And then when I'm done sweeping, I'm just going to place my right hand back over top of my left. And now I can feel my hands slowly pulling down to work on the heart. So I'm just going to bring my hands to the heart. And I have my hands kind of beside each other, and they're just beaming. So my hands are hovering over top of my heart. And it might feel good to have your hands one on top of the other and directly on your chest. When my hands hover, I can really feel that energy flow. So sometimes I prefer that. And I just took a really nice deep breath in and an exhale, which means I shifted something. That's good. It's good to pay attention to your body and those subtle cues it gives you, especially if you have a hard time feeling the rise and fall or any tingling sensations. And definitely notice an exhale. And my hands have naturally moved to one on top of the other. And now they're pressing right up against my chest. Really taking a time just to tune into your heart. Maybe feelings are arising for you. Maybe even emotions are coming to the surface for you. Allow yourself to release them if you feel in a safe place to do so. You are completely surrounded and protected by white light that we called in before we started. And everything is surfacing for a reason. It's time for it to be released. And you can honor that and release it. And just reminding to be really kind and love ourselves, especially in this new year when we're setting New Year's goals and things we want to bring in. Everyone has to start somewhere, and I'm just feeling super inclined to say this. You are right where you need to be. Love and honor that about yourself, and meet yourself from where you are right now. You are doing the thing. And then I just placed my right hand over my solar plexus, so just below my heart here. And I actually kept my left hand on my heart, and my right hand is on my stomach. So just above my navel. And this is what they would call a bridge hold. So when you have one hand on one chakra and the other hand on the other. And we are just making sure that my solar plexus is the wiring is in alignment with my heart. So this really goes actually about what we were just talking about confidence for ourselves and loving ourselves. I personally had guilt come up in my heart. So I'm just focusing on releasing that and just sending myself love to every cell of my body. I can even feel my shoulders go back now and my heart and my chest go forward. So that also is very good. It means that is opening up. It's awesome. Again, those subtle cues that we pay attention to. And another exhale. So now I'm going to move both my hands, one on top of the other, to my stomach. And I've moved my hands to kind of go beside each other, so it's covering almost the right and left side of my stomach. Fingertips meet in the middle. If you can, you could also move a hand towards your back. Even if it's the back side of your hand that is touching your back, that is good too. You can kind of give yourself a sandwich hold here, especially if you're dealing with any kind of lower or mid-back discomfort. This might sound good to you. I don't know if it's just because I said that, but now I'm going to bring both of my hands towards my lower back. And I actually have my palms on my back now on my lower back, just kind of on each side here. If you felt that you needed your hands to go to your lower or upper back on each side, that could be an indicator that you need to drink more water. I'm getting the vision of kidneys, and I know this is for me since I've been sick. I know I need to drink a lot of fluids, but if this resonates with you too, get some water in you. And I'm just moving my hands back to the front of my stomach here. And now I've kind of stacked my hands. One is above the other, fully taking up my whole stomach. And I'm just doing some gentle sweeping motions, starting from up top and sweeping them all the way down. I always like to think of anything we release kind of goes down to the root and out the root that way. So this always feels like I'm sweeping that energy from my stomach down and into my root. And then just hovering my hands just above. And I can feel the energy much lighter. It feels bouncy. It almost feels whimsical. It just feels really soft, so not as dense anymore. And if you're unsure of what that feels like, just use your intuition and know when it's time to move on to the next spot, okay? And now I'm just going to move my hands just below my navel, down to my sacral. Connecting into that beautiful color orange. Our creativity, our fire, our energy source. It can be very draining if we are being pulled in every direction during the holidays. So I almost see like our power getting called back into us, calling that back into your sacral there. You also might feel inclined to separate your hands so they're kind of on each side of your hips. If you have any physical pain, you will definitely want to bring your hands to those spots as well. Please venture out to any other spots that I have not mentioned as of so far. Take that time and give yourself a spot treatment there. Reiki will go wherever it is needed throughout the body. But it is nice to bring our awareness to those certain areas that feel sticky and that just need a nice release. I'm doing a sandwich hold, particularly on my left side. I have one on the front and one on the back. This might be good if you have any sciatic pain. And just moving my hands subtly, just to kind of around the area. Again, you may feel that call to sweep, to hover your hands just above the area, or place them directly hands-on. And now I'm moving to the right side, and I have one on the front and one on the back. And my hands are directly on my hips and my lower back. For some women out there who are doing this exercise, I'm seeing 2 hands on the front, almost where your ovaries would be. I'm seeing that needs some love for you. Almost like a flush out of that area. And now just bringing my hands back into the center. I think about this spot as our fire zone, our furnace, and sometimes I like to just breathe that energy, that fire all the way up to the rest of my body, especially into my heart, so we can disperse it everywhere else that it is needed. And sometimes I find myself sweeping the energy up into that space, which is what I'm doing now. And then when you're ready, and only when you're ready, you can just bring your hands to just below. Maybe they are on your thighs or on your knees, or just hovering in that space, or you're just bringing awareness to your feet. And we are going to send the root some Reiki. This is our foundation. This is chakra number 1. This one really needs to be healthy. And I know since I start at the top, of course, when you're doing a session and we're working my way down, sometimes the root chakra can get a little overlooked or not as much love as it needs. And this one really does need our support, because it really is holding the groundwork for everything else we put on top of it. So try not to skip this one, even though I'm guilty of it too. I'm getting the feeling of a scarcity mindset for some of you. You can just bring your attention to all of the overflow that is coming in for you. Let's put our focus there instead. You are always looked after. Things always work out for you. You have a whole team of guides looking out for you and helping you along your journey today. I want you to feel their security around you. And don't forget to always ask if we need help. Ask and you shall receive is what I'm hearing. You are forever loved. It's definitely a good time of reflection when you're in the root. Figure out where you're going and where you want to go. I'm just seeing some red roots really strengthening in this area. Feeling that and breathing that in up to the body. You are doing a wonderful job. Don't forget that. Also know that you have been guided to do Reiki, to practice Reiki for a reason, or you would not be here. And the more you practice and the more you strengthen, of course, the better and easier things are going to become, just like anything else. But definitely love where you're at right now. You can leave your hands on your root, or you can take some other movements wherever that needs to be. Maybe you need to go back and revisit another chakra. By all means, do that. Take whatever you need today. Sometimes I like to go back to the top of the head just to check in. Make sure everything feels calm and relaxed. I'm definitely feeling much lighter. I hope you are too. Please listen to this as much as you need, or if you're just kind of starting out with level 1 and you're kind of unsure on how to go about giving yourself a self-treatment, this is just one example. We thought it would be fun to kind of set the tone for the new year, especially if you want this to be your year to really develop your Reiki practice. We are here to support you. And if you ever want to share or ask us any questions, we are there on our Instagram, Living the Reiki Life. Okay, and now maybe to end your practice, you may want to bring your hands together in prayer position in front of your heart. This always makes me just feel so aligned. And now, if you are done your self-treatment, it is an important thing to close the chakras as all the way down. So you can start at your crown, and you can just think of a lotus flower closing up into a bud. To me, this is the easiest way, so I just think of it starting at my crown, and then my third eye, and my throat, my heart, my solar plexus, my sacral, and then down to my root, closing up each of those major energy points. We don't want them to be wide open when we are out doing our everyday lives. And then I want you to imagine some beautiful white light flooding into your aura, strengthening and protecting your auric field. And I want you to try now just to pushing your aura all the way out. So what I do, I kind of flex from my core, from my abdomen, and I just think of myself kind of pushing my energy field all the way out. Should be at the very least a full arm's length out and around your body. So just doing that now. And then let's set an intention moving forward. If something felt stuck for you, or you can just set an intention to help you to keep releasing, if anything needs to keep releasing, of course. Setting the intention to maybe drink more water, having more energy, just feeling good about ourselves and what we want to put forward in the new year, maybe even setting New Year resolutions as an intention. Whatever feels good going forward, just to kind of solidify the practice today. And then thank you so much for being with us with this episode today. So much gratitude and love for you from Kristi and I. We really hope you had a wonderful holiday and are ready to get into this new year with so much vigor and energy and whatever you need for the new year. Maybe it is more rest and balance. I know I definitely want to find the good combination of both those things. So we're sending you so much love in this new year, and we can't wait to reconnect with you with an astrology update and what else is important going on for the new year. Thank you. And you can find us both on Instagram. Our page is Living the Reiki Life on Instagram. You can find Kristi at The Birch Soul, and my Reiki handle is Reiki with Amanda. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll see you next time.
1